Happy New Year! Let's discuss fundraising for 2024. Hi, I'm Bill Stanczykiewicz. This is the first day from the fundraising school, and today I'm just sharing some thoughts from our school as we think about fundraising in 2024. First of all, let's go back to 1 year ago when 2/3 of the nation's economists, surveyed by a national newspaper, were absolutely certain we were going to have an economic recession in the United States. Well, a year later, we're talking about the recession that never happened. The economy in the United States was quite resilient throughout 2023. And of course, that's important for all of us in our employment and our livelihoods, and also as we think about donors, because when people have more money, certainly they spend and save more money, but they also can donate money as well. So that, of course, raises the most important question about 2024. And is the recession just waiting? Were the economists right, but their timing was wrong? Are we going to have a recession anytime soon? Well, of course, the big answer is yes. There's always going to be a recession. In a market economy, you have a recession at least every 5 to 7 years. What we don't know is exactly when. And the question is, will that be 2024? So far, so good with the projections that are being reported in the financial press. You look at things like inflation. And of course, about a year and a half ago, inflation was at double digits. And our school's research shows when inflation is higher than 5%, that has a dampening effect on charitable giving. Well, the average inflation in the United States over October and November was under 2%. And that's why the folks at the Federal Reserve are actually saying in 2024, they might start cutting interest rates because they're seeing inflation come down to the area, the range that they prefer. So we see that inflation has been coming down. How about the employment situation? The labor market in the United States, quite resilient in 2023, and even in the final months of 2023. They certainly weren't gangbusters like 2022, but not horrible either. Kind of a Goldilocks. The labor market is starting to level out, if you will, and starting to find that balance and starting to find that par with, new job creation, around 200,000 new jobs every year. And that's a nice spot. Again, not great, not horrible, kind of a Goldilocks number. And then you look at consumer spending. Consumer spending has remained strong. Some months are better than others. The most recent data in November were quite healthy. And of course, we saw that with the so-called Cyber 5, the consumer spending from Thanksgiving Day to Cyber Monday. Thanksgiving Day was up 5%. Black Friday was up 7%. Cyber Monday was up 9% compared to the year before. So this is showing us that people have financial resources and that we are heading into 2024, maybe not great, but at least in a solid situation. Not for everybody. We understand that at the fundraising school, but certainly for enough people who are displaying that strength through their consumer spending. So as we think about 2024, I'm seeing more people saying phrases like soft landing and that we're not going to have a recession. As we say at the fundraising school, though, it is always good to have scenarios. A scenario where there's no recession, scenario where there's a strong recession, a scenario where there's a mild recession might be a good way to think heading into 2024. Now, a flashing green light for fundraising in 2024 were the results of the stock market. Folks who are longtime friends and followers of the fundraising school know that one of our school's strongest correlations is between the S&P 500 and charitable giving the following year. For about the last 50 to 60 years, when the S&P 500 goes up, charitable giving goes up the following year. When the S&P 500 goes down, January to December, charitable giving tends to go down the following year. Well, the S&P 500 was entering the end of 2023 up by double digits. And so again, that is a good green light as we think about fundraising in 2024. Now, the most important aspect of your fundraising, of course, always is your relationship with your donors. That's why at the fundraising school, we're adding more curriculum to more of our courses about donor stewardship. It's interesting how the class kind of takes over when we discuss donor stewardship. So we're adding more curriculum around donor stewardship to reemphasize the point that your relationships with your donors are paramount. And of course, that raises this question, how many donors are out there, especially when we hear this statistic that only about 50% of U.S. households are charitably active. Well, if you heard the podcast late in 2023 with my colleague Mark Tony Wilhelm, we had a wonderful conversation about that that I think really bears repeating because, for example, Gallup says 81% of American people say they donate. The General Social Survey puts the figure at 88%. How can that be true? 50%, 81%, 88%. Cue Mark Twain about what he had to say about lies and statistics, right? Well, Mark unpacks this quite well to note that the surveys are all correct. In the world of research, our researchers are asking different questions to different people at different times, and that's how you get these differing results. And the perspective that Mark encouraged us to take, I think, is the right one. That really, in all of those surveys, only 12% of people say that they never donate. And one of the areas of variability is that while as nonprofits we have an annual fund, we need to remember that not all people are annual donors. They may donate every second year or every third year, or one year they donate to this nonprofit, the next year to that nonprofit, the third year they come back to the one they supported in the first year. And another way to understand this is if we're living with that 50% figure with household charitable giving, that is not saying that the other 50% were asked for a charitable gift and said no. It's still up to us as fundraisers to have that abundance mentality, that sense of possibility, that growth mindset, and be attracting donors at all income levels. It's just the right thing to do, understanding that all people can be generous, and make sure that we're inviting folks at any income level, any gift level to donate to our nonprofit organizations. A couple of other thoughts as we think about 2024. Of course, artificial intelligence continues to be top of mind for so many people. And, as curriculum is developed by the fundraising school, it almost becomes out of date because the advances are happening so quickly in artificial intelligence. Make sure that you watch for our courses. We're creating these 3-hour pop-up courses. They're refreshed as new information comes along. And what we're seeing so far is that what artificial intelligence can do is help take care of some of the mechanical, operational aspects of our work. Maybe write the first draft of a letter to a donor. Maybe write the first draft of a grant proposal. Maybe do some analysis of our donor database to help us know who might be next as a candidate for a major gift or an upgraded gift. So AI is doing some of these mechanical things, which, what does that mean, fundraisers? That frees up more time for us to do the thing we love most, and that's spend time with people, spend time with donors and foundation program officers and folks at corporations. So it's freeing us up for more time for the people work as we continue to learn how best to use artificial intelligence. Another aspect of 2024, this is a presidential year, and we want to in the United States, and we want to remind you of our school's research that shows that charitable giving not only doesn't go down during the U.S. presidential year, in the last 7 or 8 presidential cycles, except one, charitable giving has gone up and gone up faster than inflation. And so we need not worry about all the billions of dollars being donated to presidential candidates. Our school's research shows that those donations tend to come out of a different pocket than the charitable giving pocket. So we don't need to worry about the 2024 presidential race deflating our charitable giving. By the way, that one time when charitable giving did go down, 2008, the start of the Great Recession, which is really why the giving went down, not because of the presidential race. Of course, times are tough. Times are challenging, right? And those challenging times affect different people in different ways. It could be in our families, in our local communities, our state, our region, our country, and of course, we know around the world. And the turbulence can really be a challenge for us as fundraisers. And the last word that I want to leave with you is this. The turbulence that you might be experiencing is no worse than the turbulence we signed up for when we agreed to serve in the nonprofit sector. We're first responders. We're tutoring the youth, feeding the hungry, housing the homeless, providing services to victims of domestic violence, promoting animal welfare in the environment, increasing access to healthcare, championing the arts, all of the different things that we're doing. We have stepped up to fill gaps and pursue opportunities. And there's turbulence in that. And there'll be turbulence in your fundraising. As you do so, keep this information in mind. Remember, at the Fundraising School, we endeavor to be your career-long colleague. We'd love to see you in one of our public courses, 24 public courses that lead to 4 certificates, or perhaps it's customized training that we can bring to just your nonprofit or your association or your region. We have our quarterly webinars and, of course, our textbook, Achieving Excellence in Fundraising, the 5th edition. And stay in touch with these free podcasts that provide information, useful information with my colleagues each and every week, as well as friends of the Fundraising School who we're fortunate to meet as we do our work. And of course, if you have a question, you can always reach out to us and we can provide you with the information that you're seeking. So we're so fortunate to have you with us at the Fundraising School. We ask you to go make the world a better place. Let us know how we can help. Our producers today are Jennifer Boffman and Mike Anthony. I'm Bill Stanczykiewicz. This is the first day from the Fundraising School. You are now more fully informed. Have a great day.